Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press. Today, Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. There's a break in the Trump trial just down the street, and so we're back in federal court today. First, happening yesterday, late, Senator Menendez. In his case, he's asked now to see certain information that previously could only see in the presence of his attorney. His attorney has said, look, Senator Menendez is a sitting senator. He has security clearances, whether that's wise or not, given the charges about Egypt and Qatar. That's my opinion. And so he should be able to see this information down in his office in DC as he's waiting to vote on very important bills, like banning TikTok. So we'll see what Judge Stein says. Also today in federal court, I could talk about the Trump trial, but you can just find it all online, including we wrote a book about the jury selection. And so far we've only had one witness, David Pecker, so look that one up. Here, today, at 10:30, coming up soon, the sentencing of a man named Costanzo. He was a DEA agent in Miami, and he's been convicted of some pretty extraordinary things, but he says he's a hero, and so we'll see what kind of sentence he gets. There's also a trial of a pretty nasty, a urologist charged with sexual abuse of young boys. Inner City Press actually got some stuff unsealed, which I hadn't actually. We're always fighting for unsealing, but we're going to be covering that trial as well. And then, lower profile, but I think legally interesting, there's the sentencing of a man named Rabbit. We've covered his case throughout. I will say, I think it's acknowledged in the docket that he is a drug dealer, but he left drugs in a midtown high-rise hotel, and the next occupants of the hotel room used them and died. It was fentanyl, and he's being charged for that. Of course, he could be charged, but he's being charged for the death, and there's been victim impact statements going on. So his sentencing is today, and we're going to cover that because it is it's like the Bronx daycare fentanyl case, in which there's this enhancement for resulting in death. In any event, these are the cases. We're also covering, of course, the United Nations, where their failure from Gaza to Ukraine to the coups in West Africa continue. And we put in written questions, and they answer none of them because they banned Inner City Press for giving exactly the same kind of coverage of the UN as we're doing now at the Trump trial. It's that here in the United States, there's the First Amendment, and you're allowed to cover things. In the UN, they're absolutely immune from not only the First Amendment, from any law at all, lawless. But we aim to end that. We've applied to re-enter, and one day, beyond just suing to unseal documents, one day the UN itself will be sued to live up to its principles. But until that day, to be continued. Inner City Press.